Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 14th annual Fish for a Cure Captains Meeting, 14 years, 2007. First of all, please type any questions you may have throughout the program in the comments section, and we'll be sure to answer these before the end of the meeting tonight. If we miss anything tonight and you are looking for more information, please go to fishforacure.org or email fishforacure@aahs.org with your comments or questions, and we'll get back to you before Saturday. On behalf of the entire Fish for a Cure team, we want to say thank you to all of our captains, anglers, sponsors, and friends of Fish for a Cure for your support. Because of all of you, we are able to have this incredible fishing and fundraising event and support cancer survivorship program at Anne Arundel Medical Center's Geaton and Joanne DeCiceria's Cancer Institute. We would especially like to thank our prize sponsors for 2020. All Tackle. Once again, Keith is providing gift cards for the first, second, and third place for the Rockfish division. Davis's Pub, CCA Maryland, Congressional Sportsman Foundation, and the Kahan Center for Pain Management is also providing prizes. Aside from All Tackle's gift cards, there's also an angle cooler, rods and reels, and other great Shimano and CCA Maryland gear. Currently, we have 65 boats registered. 54 of those boats have raised money in the Paul C. Denner Captain's Challenge. Your donations and efforts in the Captain's Challenge creates a safety net of support for more than 2,000 patients and their families undergoing cancer treatment each year. Quarantine does not stop cancer. And thanks to all of our support, more than 100 patients a day continue to receive cancer care and treatment at AAMC. Sorry. Even though the Captain's Challenge officially closes at 6 p.m. this Saturday, many of you veteran fundraisers know this next 3 days are historically our best in terms of the dollars raised. Who's going to knock Captain Brian Heller and his alternating currents team out of the top spot on the leaderboard and win those coveted Fish for a Cure tournament jackets? If you bear with me for a minute, I have, there we go. Sorry, I wanted to show you a picture of Brian with his jacket. I'm having a little technical difficulty. Yeah, we'll post it. All right, just a few more things before we get down to talking about fishing. If you didn't make it to the Annapolis Maritime Museum tonight to pick up your captain's bucket, please email fishforacure@aahs.org to coordinate pickup prior to the tournament this Saturday. Also, please remember that one of your crew will need to call Ken's Creative Kitchen by the end of the day tomorrow to coordinate the pickup of your party packs. These will be available for pickup Friday and Saturday, so please be sure to call Ken's. All of the details on your party pack voucher can be found in the captain's bucket that you picked up tonight. So now that we have all the formalities and the logistics covered, let's talk about some fish in this year's tournament. I'd like to introduce Dave Sikorsky, who is the Executive Director of Coastal Conservation Association Maryland. Dave's going to give us all the important details of this year's tournament. It's changed a little bit, how to use the iAngler app, along with other tournament details. It's all you, Dave. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Absolutely glad to be here tonight and help folks understand what this new format means for anglers out on the water on Saturday. So it's a catch photo release format. And as Mike mentioned, the rules are available on the website. Here's the URL below. And you can absolutely print the rules off the website. We'll show you that. But they'll be right on your phone. And in a second here, I'm going to talk to you about your phone, your smartphone, and how you connected this tournament through that smartphone. So if folks participated in the past, they would have already participated in the catch and release division in the past. They know iAngler. They're probably familiar with the platform and hopefully have turned in some big fish in the past on that platform. I know a lot of folks fishing out there are CCA members. Thank you for your great support. We're really proud to be a part of this. And I know a lot of you already know how to work an iAngler platform, but I'm going to walk you through it in a second. So let me share my screen here and show you a few things about the actual website. This is just iAngler tournament /2020-fish-cure. And we'll provide this to all the captains and folks so they can understand how this portal works. iAngler is a smartphone app. And so I'm going to show you in a second my actual phone screen. But for now, this is what's available on a website. And for a lot of folks, it's a little bit easier to navigate on the website. So you can absolutely register yourself if you're already part of a registered team or a boat. You can go on here and just read this information. It briefly introduces the tournament. And what I have highlighted right here explains to you that there's a coupon code you can use. I guess I'm pointing in the wrong direction. So there's a coupon code you can use. And what you're doing is bypassing any dollars into the system. Just the way that iAngler's built, it will ask you to register, and it will look like it's trying to charge you some money. It's not. Use that coupon code, all caps, FISH 2020, FISH 2020, and you can absolutely register yourself. If you're not able to do that, or you don't see this until closer to the tournament time, you may notice that we register for you. So we will get the list, and I will upload all the users, and we'll get you in here. And multiple people from a boat can absolutely register in the iAngler app. So bear with me a second, and I'm going to get my other screen up for you. Mike, have you ever used the app?
Yes.
Pretty easy, right?
Yeah, it's seamless.
There you go. All right, so let me make sure we're ready to go here. All right. So now, let's see, clickety-click. There it is. You should be able to see my cell phone here. And what this is actually the iAngler app. So there's the first page for it. If I went to my home screen, it's the blue one. The blue one in the top left-hand corner is the iAngler tournament app. So go to your Google Play, go to your iCloud, or whatever these things are called. Download the app, iAngler, the blue one. When you click on it, for me, I'm already logged in. You can see at the top, it's my name, it's my little icon for my, my profile picture, and there happens to be an event that I'm participating in, a CCA event we're running right now. And so it says currently running tournaments below the iAngler tournament title. Well, you hit the magnifying glass, it'll bring you to the opportunity to search. You can search past, running, and upcoming. Well, of course, we want to click upcoming, and then just type in cure. That's all you need to do. Then hit the magnifying glass to search. There it is, fish for a cure. Once you're registered in the system, this should show up on your home screen. Sometimes people have a little trouble with it. The operating systems are all different, so the app developers try and stay up on it, but sometimes it may not show up. You may need to search for it. So just be ready for that. And I wouldn't be surprised if everybody on your boat had a little bit of a different experience because of the different versions of phones out there. But click view. And now this is how you interact with the tournament on the smartphone app. You can absolutely register right here. If instead of the statements at the bottom, which I think you can't see, let me change something. There you go. You can see at the bottom, it says catch logs and log catch. And so those are your options once you're in the tournament and once you're ready to submit your catch. So leading up to the event, you can absolutely go in here and practice. So you click log your catch, and now this page shows you what to do. So it even shows you with a picture. You lay your fish out, and you lay it against the measuring device. I'll show you an actual photograph from a previous event in a second here, but ultimately you want to lay your fish 0 to the left, and if everything's consistent, it makes the job of the judges a lot easier. So you can see the 2 buttons below the fish. Take photo with your camera or get it from your gallery. So if you take it with your camera, we'll activate your camera. You can absolutely see what's going on. Take a picture of your fish against the ruler, and you're good to go. Or if you get it from your gallery, it will grab it from one of your previously taken photographs. I recommend this option because you never know what's going on with connectivity in the app. And the last thing you want to have happen is an app crash and lose your one picture of your award-winning fish. So take a bunch of pictures with your phone. Recognize that autofocus can be off sometimes. I don't know if you're like me, but I have a brand new, to me, iPhone 8, and it won't focus properly. Anyway, a whole other topic, right? So anyway, by default, the phone shows that striped bass is our target. That's the majority of the tournament. That's what our target is. And it asks you to fill in the length in inches right here in this blank, and it pops up your ability to do that. And then it shows the date. It can absolutely show the location if you want to share that. That's not required for this tournament. And automatically has the time based on your phone. It automatically defaults to the rockfish division. So remember, we'll get back to the rules in a second, but remember what you can fish for rockfish. There's also the perch division, the other sport fish, and invasive species. So you can submit catches under these divisions. So if you're out there snakehead fishing for your day at Fish for a Cure, you want to turn fish in for invasive species. Yes, snakeheads. We'll talk about that in a second, a new division. But ultimately, you want to make sure that your division's correct. If you submit a picture that says invasive species and it's a picture of a rockfish, we know something happened. We're going to put you in the right category. But it's just important. You know, it's one more little step. So the reason you see Danny's name here and some others is these 4 anglers have already registered. They figured out iAngler on their own. Might be doing it right now. Thank you very much. You folks are ready. And because I'm an admin and a judge along with Mike, I can actually enter your catch for you. So last case scenario, if you can't figure out your phone, nobody on the team can figure out the phone. My phone number is already on the tournament website, and we'll share it with you again and again. You can absolutely text message me a picture, and I can upload it for you. Now, it's going to cost you, and you're going to have to raise even more money for the cause if you do that and take that option. But it's an option, okay? Also, the last section, the asterisk next to length, that's going to be a required option. If I tried to hit submit, it wanted me to take a picture. If there was a picture in there, the next notification would have said, hey, put the length in, please. This is the length you think it is. And this is, this helps the judges either make a quick decision and say, okay, yep, it's that length, we approve it, or edit your catch. And then also at the bottom, you can put comments. You can tell us who caught it. You can tell if it's a first fish, biggest fish, youth angler, you name it. Let's share some good stuff about your catch. But ultimately, you would end up on this next page, which shows the different logs. The majority of what you're sending in is going to be under submitted, and then it will turn green when it's approved. If you see that it turns red and it's rejected, the judges will automatically provide you a notification that says why it was rejected. It could be something simple. A lot of times folks will send a duplicate catch in just in case because they're not sure about their signal. So that's perfectly fine. You can absolutely send in all the catches you have. Some of this data will actually be provided to Maryland DNR, the catch and length data, as part of a permit that is required with striped bass tournaments. So we will turn in some information and interact with you on this app all day. But again, text messages are perfectly fine. So also remember, folks, if you have questions along the way, you can pop them into the comments. We can see the comments that you would type on Facebook. And after the fact, if you're watching this after we're live, you can absolutely place comments there and we'll answer them for you. But let me get back to my other screen real quick. Let me show you a good example of a catch photo release picture. And this includes the photo identifier or tournament indicator, kind of semantics here. If you fished one of these tournaments in the past, you'll notice the @ symbol on the angler's hand here. And as it says along the bottom, this identifier will be provided to you Friday after sunset. We'll send it to you on the Facebook page via email, via iAngler. There'll be notifications that'll pop up through iAngler. So there'll be multiple ways for you to see this, and you have to make sure it's visible in the picture. This is our way of knowing that this picture wasn't taken today or last week. We also look into what's called the metadata of each picture and can understand if the picture was taken previously. But this simple mark that will show up, that's not going to be an @ symbol. It's going to be a secret symbol we show you on Friday, must be visible in the image. And you can see here, this ruler is slightly different than the ones we're using this year. So the ones that are using this year should be these plastic ones. I think all the past rulers are also allowed, but what's really most important for judges is we can see it. You can see the fish's nose is on the 0 mark. We can see a little piece of that ruler sticking out. The nose is against the bulkhead, so is the ruler. That just helps judges really quickly go, okay, the nose is on 0, now let's look at the tail. By DNR regulation, the tail may be pinched. You can gain just a little bit of length right there, and it just gives you the max of that fish has grown. And you want to make sure that picture is nice and clear and just shows that full fish, just like this sample picture. If you get fish that are as big as the ruler, bigger than the ruler, first, that's great. And second, just recognize that we need to see something in the 0 range and something in the 40s or whatever it might be at the end of the ruler. And just give the judges the best chance possible to give you all the inches that you've caught to the nearest 1/4 of an inch. And that just makes our job easier. And again, we will respond or reject images that we have challenges with. And so here's the Fish for a Cure website, fishforacure.org/tournament-rules. We'll get that back along the bottom here for you. Go here, read through these, and you can always go right back to the Facebook Live and ask questions there, the Facebook after we're live and ask questions, and we can answer them for you. So Jim Curtis just asked a question in the chat. He said, I'm sorry, how do we create a login for iAngler? Do we use the same user ID and password as our tackle box? No, and you didn't miss that, Jim. I skipped it by accident. What we are going to do is register you for iAngler. If you're a previous user and you have a username, but you're not sure what your password is, it has a standard system. You can press I forgot my password, or you can contact me. My email is david@ccamd.org, and we will provide that in writing here shortly. But ultimately, when we sign you up, we'll sign up everybody that's registered, all the team captains for your boat. We will use your email that you provided to register for the tournament. By default, what's before the @ sign in your email is your username, if you don't already have one. If you already have one, it's your existing username. But what's in front of the @ sign in the email is your username, and your password's the exact same. So we can change your passwords. You can automatically do that once you log in, but that's how you get set up. And what you did probably miss was the on the Fish for a Cure website, or the iAngler tournament website. You can actually scroll down right here and register using Fish 2020, and you can also just create your own username and password before we automatically register you. So if you want to get out in front of us, that's great. If you've already done it, that's great too. And if you have any questions, david@ccamd.org. And I'll give my cell phone now at 443-621-9186. It's also right here on the iAngler tournament page and right on the app I was showing earlier on my phone. And you're welcome, Jim. Thanks for participating. All right, so back to the tournament rules website. It's all spelled out here. It's pretty clear. I haven't seen any questions on the specific rules yet, but let's go over some times real quick. 6:30 a.m. is your lines in, and then a 5 p.m. deadline to get us the pictures. And then we have an hour to make sure that we've wrapped up everything, and then we'll be back live again Saturday at 6 p.m. to give you the results. And so we'll let everybody know what the story is and how it all shook out. And so we have the striped bass, the rockfish division. It is catch, photo, release. As folks may know, striped bass aren't doing well. Generally speaking, we're in the wrong direction. The management plan that manages them coast-wide is officially in the status of overfished, and overfishing is occurring. That means their population's not doing well. And this virtual setting we're in this year, the iAngler tournament app, and probably a need to catch and release for conservation are kind of coming together for this tournament this year. So ultimately, rockfish are in decline, and we're working hard to make sure we can turn that around because our state fish is so important. So catching and releasing these fish carefully is a big part of what we can do as anglers to raise money for an amazing cause, but also let the biggest fish of the population swim on for another day. The biggest fish in the population are the female fish. They're really important to providing future generations of rockfish. And while you can go out in the Severn River or anywhere now in the bay and find plenty of little rockfish, that's kind of the point. The little ones need to grow up, to replenish the populations in the future, because overall the reproductive trends of the species and the general population is on a downward trend. We don't want that to happen. We need to invest in a brighter future. So catch and release carefully is a big part of that. And there's some great tips on your rulers that you received that'll help you with that. Things like wet your hands, limit the fish's air exposure, but know that because the water's cold and we have pretty decent salinity right now, there's a really high likelihood that these fish will be released and live on to be plenty healthy and move forward down the line to give us more rockfish for the future. So anyway, back to the rules. We've got a 5-fish stringer perched by a team. The Grand Slam, which are 3 unique space sport fish, and they're spelled out right here. So, hey, if rockfish aren't working for you, or if you already have the winner, you've got a great picture, you turned it in, go ahead and find some other fish to target. I'm sorry, and remember, it's 4 longest fish stringer you're turned in. So once you get that in the bag, go target some other fish, maybe blue catfish, maybe snakeheads, and that's for the invasive species division. So there's no limit to the number of fish you can turn in for the invasive species division. It is the longest stringer.
Dave, how many, is it 5 species of catfish now in the bag?
There's a whole bunch of different catfish, but the ones that have been designated invasives are the flathead and the blue catfish. So they're really the 2 that count. The blue catfish is definitely by far the most prevalent. They're going to be caught in a little bit lower salinity, upper bay rivers, but they've spread out, and we're actually learning a lot more about these blue catfish. They're great to eat. Catch them, keep them, and you'll find that they're a nice, clean, white meat. Cut out the bloodline. I recommend folks bleed any fish that they catch, cut the gills. It really improves meat quality. But there's blue catfish all over. The flatheads are really a river species. I don't think it's very likely that anybody's catching them or targeting them. They're more up in the Susquehanna and the Potomac. But the blue cats are everywhere. And then the snakeheads are available right in town in Annapolis and some of the creeks up the Severn. They're really spreading out like quite a bit. They're a completely different species, of course, hiding up in shallow water and such. And I think some perch or pickerel anglers might just stumble upon snakeheads, or you could choose to target them and that be your day for fish for a cure if you wanted to.
And one other thing on species, the Grand Slam, you could have, I think it was, remind me, Dave, it was 2 or 3 years ago, we had 2 species of catfish that won the Grand Slam. It was 2 species of catfish, maybe a perch.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're, the 3 unique species, there's plenty of fish out there if you choose to target them, plenty of different species. We've got a lot more than rockfish out there. So, if that's the way your day turns, go after something else. They
just have to recite the genus and species for each one.
Yeah, see if you can outfish nerd me on some of the fish facts. So ultimately, your deadline's 5 p.m., folks. On Saturday, you will receive more information moving forward. Again, the iAngler page here. Let me go ahead and copy and paste this and pop it up on the screen. Oops, I see some comments coming in too. Give me 1 second. All right. There we go. The iAngler URL is right here. Also, iAngler does have a test tournament if you want to try that, but you can absolutely test some stuff. So let's get back to some of the questions. We couldn't make the in-person meeting tonight. How do we get our ruler and bucket? Mike, how do they get their ruler and bucket if they couldn't make it to the Maritime Museum?
So they need to contact fishforacure.org, or just go to the website and click on the link for the email.
Yep. There you go. I didn't even look further down in the comments. Sam Buckley, who's on top of everything and is really the glue that holds Fish for a Cure together in so many ways, along with the volunteer board. Sam already replied. So she's on top. Thank you, Sam.
Don't ask me anything.
Yes. And so, Michael Grabe, you asked about, can you only turn in 4 rockfish? No, you can turn in 100 rockfish if you would like. I mentioned a little earlier that the data we capture, it's called a discard length frequency, is a thing that fisheries managers try and understand to get an idea of what's out there. So on a day like Saturday with 60 some boats out there fishing, we're going to catch a lot of rockfish. You want to turn them all in. It's just more work for the judges. As one of them, I'm perfectly fine with reviewing it. We will look through all the different pictures. They'll be listed under your team name, and we'll turn in the DNR, the data to DNR to help them with fisheries management to better understand what anglers are interacting with out on the water. So submit all the fish you want to. but the 4 largest are the ones that count. Dr. Watkins, thank you. Should we register every perch and we sort out the 5 longest? Every perch, it depends what you're using. I know you're quite the perch angler. So yeah, you can turn them all in and we will absolutely judge them all. But you know, if you get to the point where you know that your 5 or 10 biggest are already in there, no need to keep adding them. But again, we'll turn that data into DNR as well and see maybe if it won't help them. Personally, I'd love for you to turn in a cooler perch for me, and I can throw them on my grill out back. Mike and Dave, Greg Lilly here. First of all, thanks for all you do. How many judges on the panel this year? So there are 3 judges, and that is because we can always break a tie. And so Mike and I will do the majority of the judging, and we will call in a third if he and I do not agree. And that's just, again, so we can break a tie. And everybody, there is, Mike, I don't know if I said it to you earlier, there's about a 30-second delay between when words leave our mouth to when they're being heard on Facebook. So maybe we'll just, I don't know if we have anything else we have to finalize here. I know there's some other wrap-up things. Maybe we'll start with that. And if questions pop in, we can gladly answer them. How about that?
No, that sounds good. So I just wanted to make a point, Dave. Thank you. So what's it been, 5 years now since CCA has been involved? Since
I think this is either the 4th or 5th year. Yep.
Yeah. So I've been surprised. I was surprised the first year that we had so many boats catch and release. So we've been doing this for a long time, and Dave has really guided us. So this is going to turn out to be a great tournament with Dave's guidance. And this iAngler app, I've used it, and it's very, very seamless. You just download it, register, and if you have any issues, Dave's always there.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, I'm absolutely here. We couldn't do this without our great friends at the Angler Action Foundation. They're the group that has helped develop iAngler. iAngler was developed because of a conservation issue in Florida after a heavy freeze and a number of game fish dying and managers kind of being lost on how you can capture data quickly. So what they did was they created this technology, put it in the hands of anglers, and there's no question that obsessed recreational anglers just absolutely love the resource more than anybody. We want to get out there and catch it and enjoy it and take care of it. And that's what happened. That's what the Angler Action Foundation did. That's what CCA does throughout the country. We represent recreational anglers, and we try and educate them and make sure they understand what's happening to our resource so we can be responsible, but also utilize it. It's a public resource that belongs to all of us. So a big part of what I do is educating anglers. I'm really blessed to do it. As you can see behind me, there's plenty of fish in my world all the time. And what better way to celebrate fishing than to wrap it up with a tremendous and such an important cause like Fish for a Cure. CCA is just so proud to be a part of it. And I can't tell you how many teams there are full of CCA members and the great relationships that have been built by our involvement with this event and just the great folks in the Annapolis area raising money for this tremendously important cause. So thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. Well, folks, I didn't see any more questions come in. So we're going to have a safe day out there, right? Everybody, remember, there's still plenty of different health concerns out there. So Vicky asked, are we going to talk about the Calcuttas? Vicky Jenkins.
So I'll do a quick note on the Calcuttas. So you had the cash had to be in hand tonight at 8. And Sunday morning, we'll announce the winners to everyone who won, the tournament, all levels of the tournament. And then we'll also personally email the winners of the Calcuttas as to where to pick up their winnings.
All right. Well, great. Well, who's going to hop on over to the Bucks for Boats and donate? There's a lot of great raffles and a lot of great ways to win out there. So get over there, folks, and support this really important cause. Throw a few bucks on every boat.
Yeah, definitely. And the Paul C. Debtor Challenge, everyone knows the next 3 days is when all the money's raised. I mean, historically, we raise a ton of money from now until close at 6 p.m. on Saturday night. So, all right. The other thing too is please take some pictures. from your day on the water, the information as to where to send them the photos is in your captain's bucket. And if you didn't get a chance to pick up your captain's bucket, definitely email Fish for a Cure at aahs.org or call 443-481-4587 to schedule some time to pick it up. Most importantly, we just want everyone to be careful out there and have a great time. And on behalf of all of us at Fish for a Cure, thank you. You guys, it's amazing how you guys just keep stepping up. It's a tough year, and we're going to raise some money this year. I mean, we're raising a lot of money right now. So any other questions, let us know. If not, again, just email us and we can answer anything you want.
Absolutely. And I think this is still Greg on Christie's account. Let's go catch some fish and raise cash. The captain buckets are money. They are. All tackle coming through again.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything, everybody. Cheers. Let's raise some bucks.
Yeah, just a reminder, where the prizes are coming from this year. I just wanted to remind everybody. Keith Frazier at All Tackle has stepped up. It's got to be it's got to be now. Keith has been 10 years providing the prizes, for the rockfish division, and it's amazing. I mean, Keith is committed. He provides the first, second, third place for the rockfish division. Davis's Pub, Dave at CCA Maryland, the Congressional Sportsman Foundation, and Jeff Crane always provides for us, and the Cahan Center for Pain Management. I mean, there's some great prizes this year, as always. Angle Cooler, Rods and Reels. There's great Shimano, CCA Maryland gear, and as everyone knows, Keith creates, donates those gift cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's great.
By All Tackle and get outfitted. It's got 2 days to get the top lure and the top tackle and fresh line, everything you need right at All Tackle to go out and catch some fish.
Go.
Get it. All right.
Stay safe. Good night. Good luck on Saturday, and tight lines.
Good night, all.